Welcome to this episode of Random Life. And your host is Salar Madhava. So, today I want to talk about my humanitarian millionaires or people or humanitarians who are transitioning to becoming millionaires. And the reason why I want to talk about this is I just realized recently, I think maybe last week, in fact, is that I have about in my coaching, my of all my clients that I coach, five humanitarians are wanting to become millionaires, doing what they love to do, from the places they want to do. And I hadn't realized that these are people are getting bigger, or number of people who are wanting that getting bigger and bigger. And I wanted to give this overview of why they are wanting to do that and what are the topics that they have gone through or they're going through, and what are the problems they're solving to transitioning in their journeys, so that you also hear examples of people just like you and me who are wanting to do something that they really want to do in the big way. And it's not even the topic of can I really replicate my salary, which is a topic that I used to coach a lot on humanitarians, and I still do. But now I feel like we're getting to a place where I'm coaching clients on becoming millionaires. So here are the major reasons why they have decided that this is what they want to do, and not at once, or not when we just started coaching, by the way, which is, I think, important, because some of them came to me not really knowing whether they can even make or replicate their salary. Some of them didn't even want to go to transition to something else. Some of them that they said they want to continue working in the humanitarian sector and doing this as a side thing. So therefore, there are lots of different variations. But what I think is very common about why they have decided to transition to becoming millionaire from humanitarian is the first reason is, I think, which is very common to most of the humanitarians I coach, which is they no longer want to be financially dependent on the organization, considering how the turmoils that the organizations are going through currently. Many organizations, international, national, UN organizations, are going through a lot of turmoils financially, and therefore my clients that have decided to become millionaires, they are saying that I thought that the organization would financially cover, and now I'm realizing that's not the case, and also realizing that financial dependence also oftentimes equals emotional dependence, meaning that whenever we feel dependent on the organization, we feel like we have to just stick to doing the job, even though maybe we don't want to do that job, or we don't want to do that job in that capacity. And therefore, we feel like so dependent on it. And many of my clients who are wanting to become millionaires, they're saying, I don't want to be that financially dependent or emotionally dependent or job wise dependent on the organization, especially if I don't really like the way things are done, right? So therefore, I really want to continue working on the cause, whichever the cause that we want to continue working on, but I want to do it in my own way, or with my own community, with my own teams. Therefore, I really want to become a millionaire where I can invest then in my own projects, right? So that's one of the major reason why these humanitarians that I'm coaching have decided to become millionaires and working towards it. The other reason is, I think, as humanitarians, we are always like to be challenged, and many of them have arrived at certain career paths, at certain career levels, and then they feel like they're not really being challenged in the way that they used to. And also, many of them have felt that they are more in the cynical side, or in the how things are not working, how things are not going where they want to, and then they have felt so in disbelief or in this functioning mode of just doing things the way that they have always done, and they just haven't felt this huge leap of motivation of, oh, I want to build this, right? I want to create this. I want to build this thing that makes the impact that I want to. And they really feel like $1 million, for instance, would be a way to motivate them, to make them feel like they can revamp their motivation, their conviction to doing the things in the way they want to. And they would like to refresh or restore their passion, their commitment to doing things in big ways, in big leaps. And therefore, they feel like this is a motivation where they get to do whatever they love to do, which is some of the times some clients are going into real estate, other clients are going into creative world of writing books, paintings, startups, businesses. When they're going into those, then it feels like so refreshing, reinvigorating again, because they're really wanting now to build something big, build something that lasts not only for themselves but their children, and they also are thinking about legacy, and therefore they feel like this is something, the motivating factor could be there to work on this goal. The third reason, I think, which is a very beautiful reason for many of humanitarians that I coach, is that this goal is also a way to stop fearing, right? Stop undermining ourselves, stop like keep fearing this thing and they keep fearing that thing, and this doesn't work and that doesn't work, and they just feel like they have done a lot of fearing in their lives, and they just feel so fed up with it. And I love this reasoning, because they just feel like, okay, throughout my whole life I have always thought that this, I can't really do it this way. I have to go through like the traditional route of getting the university degree, acing everything, and then going to a job, and then acing that, and then going to the promotion and acing that, and then and having success that way, which I think many of my humanitarian clients have achieved that, and they know that they can do that. But at the same time, they have also realized that they have imposed a lot of fears around how now they can't really do this other thing, they can't really do this, they can't really start something new. Even though they want the location freedom, they want the freedom to be living where they want to live with their loved ones, right? They want to do all of those things, but they just keep stopping themselves with fear of this doesn't work and that doesn't work, and what if this doesn't work and this failure and that failure, and then they just feel so tired of keep fearing the fear itself, and they feel like they don't want to do that anymore, and therefore they feel like, okay, enough is enough, I'm so tired, I'm getting to this age, I want to achieve still a lot of other things in my life, and if I don't want to be just functioning and waiting for my pension to come and then hoping that I will enjoy my pension, even though if I go at this pace and with this emotional burnout, I'm not going to be even enjoying the pension. And therefore, let me just change things radically, or change things differently, and then do something totally different. And becoming a millionaire seems to be something that motivates them in that regard, to like shift altogether and just feel I don't want to be afraid anymore. I want to just do things in big ways, in big leaps, and let me just do that. And therefore, they are doing this transitioning. And the last one, which is very related to this fear part, is surviving, right? So I think a lot of my humanitarians, like myself as well, we are so tired of surviving our lives the whole time. And I think this is when I speak about the survival, it's such a cool, it's a topic that's so close to my heart. And I feel like many of the humanitarian clients who are transitioning to becoming millionaires, they have realize that they have been surviving their schedules, they have been surviving their duty stations, they have been surviving their assignments, always waiting for the next thing, always waiting for the next thing, tolerating things that they didn't want to tolerate, right? Just keep going on R&Rs or vacations and hoping to go back and like surviving until the next time, and they just feel like they don't want to survive their lives anymore. And especially those clients who are wanting to do this, they are, I would say, in their late 30s, 40s, 50s. and they just feel like, okay, life is too short. If I am going to survive another 30 years, another 40 years, another 20 years, I don't really want to live that life. I want to do things very differently, and I don't really have much to lose because I already know what I'm capable of. I have made these successful things happen in the past. So why shouldn't I be able to do that again in the future? And a lot of my clients also have their fundraising skills. They are advocacy skills. They are good at selling what is important to them, and they are also good at problem solving. So therefore, they really want to use those skills to build something new, to build something on the side, to build something that they feel like they really genuinely are interested in growing and making things work. Now, the when I have seen all of this reasoning, I think the biggest reason when we like summarize all of this and what's behind it is really the biggest reason that we're wanting to do this transition to becoming millionaires, and we're wanting more of the humanitarians becoming millionaires, is because we're wanting that identity shift. And I think the reason why we're wanting that identity shift is we're really realizing that we no longer need to be dependent, fearful of the jobs that we currently hold. We no longer need to be dependent on whatever the things that we're doing, or we no longer need to be dependent on money. We can actually create whatever the money we want to. We can create whatever the job we want to by living where we want to. So therefore, I think the identity shift that I am observing that many of my clients are wanting is the identity shift of becoming the person they want to be without being restrained by the organizational structures, by systems. They no longer want to be imposed on what they can do and how they can do, right? They no longer want to be restricted on where they can work and how they can work. They want to be having this like identity shift is really in the shift of how they do things, right? What impact they want to make and how they make their money, and that is no longer need to be from being employed to an organization their whole lives, or keep doing things that they don't want to, or keep being cynical, keep complaining and not really getting to what they want to, keep surviving. They don't really want that type of life, but rather they want the identity of someone who can create even like ridiculous sounding outcomes, results, and by doing what they love. And they are willing to work on that because they are recognizing that no matter what transitioning they go through, excuse me, they need to learn how to manage their emotions, right? Because that's just a must if we're going to transition through whatever the transitioning we're going through. We need to learn how to manage our emotions. Once we learn how to manage our emotions, we start realizing, oh my God, fear anymore. We don't be a victim or hostage of the fear anymore. We can do whatever we want to. And then once we gain that confidence and revelation, then we can start feeling like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can do all sorts of things. And then like the whole horizon opens up. And then we start wanting to work on the things that we really love and that we really believe. And then once we start doing that, then we start thinking about how am I going to do that and what is the goal that I want to set for myself? What is intangible, meaning who do I become in the process of doing and achieving that goal? And tangible, meaning $1 million goal. So as I have seen this craving for resolving the dependency, right? Resolving the fear and other emotions, resolving our survival topics, then we start realizing how much we're free to be transitioning to whatever we want to. And the issues that they're solving are the same, as I said, the reasons that I have mentioned, right? The issues that we're solving are the dependency issues on employment and the organization. dependency on certain amount of money, and realizing that actually it's harder to make 100 and 150K a year doing in hardship duty stations, always doing things that you don't want to, or some of the times you don't want to, being in environments you don't want to. It's actually harder than building something on your own with your teams, with your communities, in the way you want to, if you can manage fear and other emotions around it, and if you can manage identity around it, right? So therefore, solving the topics of dependency, the topics of belief issues, the topics of emotions, and topics of survival. And as the more we solve these topics, then the more we realize we could transition to whatever we want to. And therefore, I really wanted to invite you as well to join our club of humanitarians who are transitioning to making millions, doing what they love, doing in the way they love, while being in locations where they choose to be instead of letting the location choose them, doing the job they love instead of letting job choose them. So therefore, I would love us to create more of these examples so that we can like give so much more confidence to other humanitarians who are transitioning, who are thinking about transitioning, or who are even thinking about, oh my god, is it even possible? We can say that not only it's possible, but it's possible in these ways. And if you would like, you can also do that. So my dears, if you would like to work on this and also work on your bold, daring dreams and make them come true, absolutely come coach with me. I would love to coach you to get to that place where you feel like, oh my God, I can also be a millionaire. It's an option. Okay, let me go for this if I want.